Oh god, this video took way too long, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Welcome to War Thunder. As you can see in this clip, this guy is dead. You may think I am a bit too sure about this, but as you can see, I have no idea how I got that shot either. To talk about what War Thunder is in my opinion, extremely unnecessary. It's what if you gave a bunch of inbred monkeys the ability to fly out their favorite plane so long as they go through one of the most demanding grinds, or if they cheap out and just decide to buy a premium vehicle at the cost of not knowing what to do. And sometimes even those who do opt to go for the grind still turn out just as dumb. There are also tanks and ships, but for this video's sake and because this is the only mode I've only played in, I will mainly be talking about planes. Just keep in mind no one plays ships unless you're one of the 5 people who do. Apparently some of them brought their own old accounts into this match. And tanks is basically what we gave players the ability to unlock some obscure World War II tank, but you also gave them the ability to unlock body pillows as well as put anime decals on it. Did I mention that even though this is free to play, people still pay money and a lot of money towards this game? Well, basically, not only has this video taken way too long to be made, but also this is kind of my video. I will be going over basically just that. Keep in mind that I've been playing since May of 2025, which is last year. So most of my experience will come from the period in between then, although I may kind of touch upon stuff from before that, just so you know. Also, yes, he kept firing those missiles even though none of them were killing me, which made me think I was dodging all of them, which was a bit funny. Air combat in War Thunder is pretty much simple. Either you try and take out as much of the enemy as you can, in realistic it's really just one, or you just help another stuff like take out ground targets, and basically the whole point is to just win the game. It differs depending on the mode, but it's literally just the same idea. And also, yes, that was me crashing during a airfield jump. And even though most of the footage will be from aerialistic, I might as well still explain the other modes. At least the main ones, and not the special ones that come around like Bullet Hell or Nuclear Thunder. Air Arcade is the most basic. Your plane feels a lot more floaty and also you tank a lot more damage. Like, there's not really too much to say here. If you get mad at this mode, then as some of the people would say, that's kind of a skill issue on your part, but it's just something that helps you get used to the game, and it's mostly probably around the prop stages. Not so much in jets though. We already did discuss about air realistic, and I'm not going to go into air simulator battles. Maybe that might be for another time. But basically, yeah. Basically, plot battles are kind of the same as like how you would expect it in our arcade, except one life and you get punished more severely if you make a bad mistake. And then it goes into jet matches where air-to-air missiles come in, and then the third gen where even better missiles come in. Then fourth gen is just missile hell, and then you get the special events, which are, yeah, I already said we weren't going to discuss too much about them, but well, they happen sometimes. And yeah, that's basically the overview. Mix them all together and you get the air community in Warfront, and why they just sometimes act like this. It's a very diverse community and it produces some fine specimens as well. Who knows, maybe we could actually just get to just the kind of... I don't even know what the next thing's gonna be. Let's see what there is. Currently, me and the F5C are in a 1v1, and the guy is running for me. Earlier on, there was an engagement between me and him, however, I had to run because I was running low on pretty much everything, so I didn't want to risk straying around for too long, especially as there was a MiG-25 still around. Naturally, the MiG-25 crashes, but the J7D on my team ends up dying to the F5C, and so here we are in this endless chase. And honestly, he doesn't really have to fight me in order to win. His team has the clear tickets advantage, so all he needs to do is just land at his airfield and then repair or rearm. I have no fuel, so I can't just go back to my airfield because for some reason I was on full afterburner the whole time I was trying to get him. But above all, this was a really embarrassing loss for me. Not just because there was nothing that I could do with him running away, but also because he was in an F5C. The premium F5 that is usually used for base bombing, which he was in the match as well, although he was also fighting people with it. But sometimes you do need losses like that in order to grow better as a person, especially when you watch them back on a replay to see where you went wrong and all that. So it's just a matter to see how he sticks the landing in this plane. Now, just to say this, premium players are not dumb. It's just that some of them are extremely dumb. However, so long as they don't solely rely on premiums in order to grind through entire trees, they usually get the job done better than tech tree players sometimes. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to the skill of the player, so you still get moments like these. Moving on to actual types of aircraft. Bombers are generally a bit of a weird bunch. Most of them will just be shat on because at the end of the day they're still big targets that may just drop bombs and have some guns for defensive purposes. But then other times just see random people just go ham with them and just snipe everyone because bombers remorse. In case you're wondering who this guy is, I encountered him one time in the JN1, don't have the video recorded though, and he's just kind of a personal legend of mine. And strike aircraft, that's kind of the same thing, except you're more of a fighter yourself. You're pretty much either gonna be shit on as soon as you join in, or you actually do have some impact in how the match goes. But it really depends on which one you're flying. You're not exactly gonna see an F-84F really get too far unless no one really touches them. And then the Su-7s at 9.0, they got up-tiered. Yeah, they were untouchable. Let's hope that they don't get down to 9.0 again. It is fighters that everyone does tend to go to. They're the easiest to pick up, they're straightforward, kill bad guy, maybe there's ground pounding if the match is taken too long. And yeah, like even if there are strike planes or bomber mains, fighters are generally the easiest to fly, mostly, but you do get the point with that. And considering the fact that it's 4 AM on the day of release day, Republic Day, holy shit, I need to actually get this video done. Let's wrap this up real quick. I just got sent a message by one of my former squadron members, or rather the squadron that I used to be a part of, about this one guy who is also in the squadron, even his mic on, and then yeah, he decided not to meet him now, but it's just turned into some funny thing about yeah, this is such a great way to start this segment, is it? Well, all I can really say is, in terms of is this worth it, is the grind takes way too long. The game is really insistent on you spending money in order to have some level of enjoyment, unless you enjoy being stuck in lower tiers for a while, which is perfectly fine. Like, I know this one person who has been like only playing the low tier bombers in arcade for how do I even say this? The guy's crazy, but he is also crazy friendly. Like, probably one of the best people that I've met. And that is also including my squadron deputy, Hello Tackle, who you could probably see just getting smacked with an AIM 7F. Yes, that did happen. I was bored, and also he did make me have to wait in a hangar just so that he could watch this one guy on his team die. Justifying the use of using Fox 1 missiles against your friends aside, like honestly, like the people who I've met in this game can either be really, how do I say this without interesting characters, or they are actually really cool people. Like, honestly, like I've been playing this for like almost a year. My first time playing this was back in 2021, and like I've met like a lot of cool people. I've also met a lot of people I wish I hadn't met, and a lot of moments I wish I didn't experience. But like, this is just one of those games where you just have like, I don't know, something of a good time sometimes, and sometimes you do get really good matches, but only if you get to do the grind and then fly the planes you really do want to fly, which I feel, yeah, that's kind of the main detriment of this whole thing, in my opinion. And I guess there's not really too much I could really say about War Thunder, at least as of right now. Like, eventually, probably like even right now, they're just gonna be adding more stuff, more premiums, more broken stuff, and the game's probably just gonna end up the way it is. I doubt they'll be changing it long term short in the near future, because they always just change it over time, but it's just a matter of seeing where things go. Who knows, maybe if the Series 7 gets moved back down to 9.0, I'll probably do 100 matches in the Series 7 just to kind of get the point across. Maybe I might actually do that, that's probably a good idea. But I think the most defining thing about this game, at least really in my most honest opinion, is just it keeps you hooked, and it's not exactly in a good or It is bad, but it is also slightly in a weird, good way, because I wasn't into planes before this. Technically, I'm still not, but I do have actual favorites in terms of planes, and it just kind of allows you to kind of appreciate them, even if the way the game handles it is, yeah. But it kind of fills you with this weird sense of one match you're playing and you're playing really well, and then the next match you get killed by a Russian VTuber. But in the end, there's always a little more to that than there originally was.